Hey everyone, today I'm going to be starting out the first video in a set of tutorial videos for the tower defense pack that I will be releasing shortly. Uh, these videos will help explain how to set up your own personal tower defense game using the scripts in my pack. Uh, so for right now I'm going to show off one little editor that I've set up just to make it easier for you guys to get to these videos that's in the pack. You go to the Window Tutorials and then Tower Defense Tutorial. And here you can see I have buttons set up to where if you click on them, it'll take you to the YouTube URL for each of these videos. So that will help manage the videos themselves, the links. So right now I'm going to show you how to start setting up your own personal scene for the tower defense scene. As you can see here, I have a directional light, a main camera, a terrain, and then another terrain. The two terrains, one of them is a foreground terrain and one of them is a background terrain, just so that the grass texture, when I was originally sculpting the foreground terrain, I didn't leave enough room to where it would keep going, the terrain would keep going off screen. So when I set up my camera, I had this blue background, so I set up another terrain as a background terrain, which is really easy to do. So first I want to change the main camera to an orthographic perspective because as you know, most tower defense games are top down. You're looking from a two-dimensional perspective and the art is 2.5D generally. So as you can see, there it is. That's a quick change. Next I'm going to need to set up the grid for the actual placing to place towers on. So I'm going to go game object, create empty, and then go over here to Tower Defense Pack, Scripts, Framework, Grid Generator, and apply that. Now for this, I already know exactly the dimensions I want. I want it to be, first I have to set that this is a size 1 for a grid, and then I change this. The grid width needs to be 10. Grid length is 10, and the node size is 10. So it's a 100 by 100 grid, however, just 10 points each, and the node size itself is 10. And then I need to offset it by 5 each. And then the Y value is the height of the terrain where I want to be placing towers on, which is also 5. So generally you would have a flat terrain, just leave that as 0 so that the range is exact. But I'm going to set it as 5 because my terrain is slightly lifted just to add some clarity for the shadows. So then you just click Create Grid, then Display Grid if you want to see it. It's rather simple setup. Then next, I'm going to go create an empty. I'm going to create a cube. So the cube will be 10 by 1 by 10, and then I'm going to add a material to it. I have a grid material. You can set up whatever material that you want. It really doesn't matter. This is just for display purposes. And then I need to apply one more script to it, the grid space, the grid space script. And I'm going to change the name of it just for my own personal benefit, grid space. Okay. I then go here, add the grid space there, and instantiate object on grid, or inst object on grid. That will create let me move this out of the way, this is the original. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a grid of cubes, 10 by 10, that was generated on here. This will help, these will represent the grid points where you can place towers. Now this isn't really necessary, although, well, it is necessary to create the grid itself, to create locations where you can place towers. However, it's not necessary to have them displayed in the game. So I'm going to set this folder to inactive, and there we go. So that is how you set up a grid of cubes on your terrain. Alright, next video we'll be talking about how to set up a tower. Thanks for watching.